Good evening. I'm Asphodel Phoenix, and welcome to our stream tonight of Breath of the Wild. We're revisiting Naydra. Last time we actually visited Naydra, but Naydra's eyes of malice were not open at the time. And so I did the research. I didn't actually do anything active in order to make this happen. I discovered that if I just sat through a blood moon and reloaded the game, it would probably resolve the problem. So, as you can see, the eyes of malice are open, and I can actually start this flight, or fight, or whatever you want to call it. One thing I should mention before we get started, I've done this before a number of times, but it can have unpredictable results. If I'm not carefully watching my stamina, things can go wrong. And I actually do not have upgraded, I don't have the Rito set yet. So I don't have freeze-proof gear on me. So if I get a little too close to Naydra, I could turn into a lynx-sickle and fall from the sky. So that is a very definite possibility of one of the catastrophic things that could happen here. Let's hope it doesn't, and let's hope we have a very smooth flight. Okay. And I need to remember my I need to remember how to do my controls, because Breath of the Wild is different from Skyrim. And I was also playing Baldur's Gate 3 with a friend last night, so let's it's this. That was a bad one. I'm missing a lot right now. Okay. Now, here we go. Okay, where'd she go? There she is. It's actually a lot easier when you're airborne. Okay, we did it. But a single ceremony remains. Now loose your arrow through the body of Naydra to free the spirit of this region. Okay. There we go. That is the spirit Naydra's scale. It fell when your arrow struck. It serves as proof of the courage you received from the one who served the spring since ancient times. Come, offer a scale from the blue spirit Naydra to the spring of wisdom. You know, it's interesting that the language should be about courage because Ferosh is the spring of courage. This is the spring of wisdom. Naydra is the dragon associated with wisdom. So it's kind of interesting that it commends my courage. And that is, of course, Link's main attribute is his courage. Your path has shown itself. Now go forth. Okay. So we now have a shrine on Mount Lanayru. And we can use this as a base of operations when we need to get to the top of Mount Lanayru. And this is really a free shrine. I've already done the shrine challenge. That makes sense. But my inventory's full, so let's see if there's anything I can drop. Oh, yeah. I don't need the torch. If you were paying attention when I was flying, you would have noticed that my stamina wheels went down. So now, let's see how much I've got. Yeah, I lost all of my stamina, all my 2 rings of stamina, and in the course of the flight, I had wound my way through the additional 2 rings of temporary stamina that I had basically cooked up so that I could complete this successfully. So obviously, it's a good thing I prepared because I was able to complete it successfully. And I also have 2 more. I have 2 more enduring fried wild greens that give me 2 rings of temporary stamina, but I'm not going to use those just for ordinary running around. I'll use them for various challenges where I need more stamina. So it's a good thing I did do the preparation because now I've done Naydra, I've freed Naydra, and since I keep running into this problem of wondering if I can grab a weapon, I think I'm going to see if I can find Hestu. If I don't find him right away, I'm not going to go yet into the Korok Forest to find him. But I'm pretty sure that if he hasn't already gotten to the Korok Forest, and he probably hasn't, then I should be able to find him here. This is the stable near the woodland shrine, the woodland tower, sorry. And I'm going to put on my champion's tunic again, now that I don't have to worry about the cold. And I'll put on my climbing bandana because I don't really have to worry right now about monsters getting me. There might be an Octorok or something in the water. It's probably over on the other side, though. Because I think there is an Octorok in that water. And now I'm seeing Hestu. So let's see how much inventory space I can open up with him based upon the Koroks that I currently have. And after this, I'm pretty sure he will go to the Korok Forest. But he gives me one last chance to get some inventory space before he does that. And then I'll just have to go find him in the Korok Forest, which is a nice little quest of its own. So we're right on the border between the Eldin region and the Great Hyrule Forest. So the Korok Forest must be very near. Yep, it is. So he's resting up. But now he smells Korok seeds. I think I will do weapon stash. Good, he only needs 5. Let's see what else I can get. I should probably do a shield. He just needs 1. Yeah, sure. And let's see if I can get a bow. Yeah, I do. Let's expand the bow stash. Okay, great. This is good. He needs 2. Oh, now he suddenly remembers how to get back to the Korok Forest. Please, I wanted one more shield upgrade. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I will visit you there sometime because I still need to upgrade my inventory. Okay, now we're going to do something crazy. Well, it's not really crazy. We're going to go to Kakariko Village, and we're going to try to find a spot that's I think it's here. What I want to be doing is I want to be getting Naydra. I want to get Naydra's horn. And she starts at Mount Lanayru, goes through this canyon here, and I think that this is where she turns and comes by this area. I think this may be the West Lanayru Promenade Gate or something like that. So I'm going to go over here to the Great Fairy Fountain area, climb up these pillars. They're called pillars, but they're not actually pillars. They're just very, very high little knolls or something, knobs or... And we're going to camp out, and hopefully we will be able to get some of Naydra's horn. There's not really a passive way to do Naydra's horn like there is Ferocious horn. Ferocious horn is pretty awesome in the sense that you can just kind of sit there at Riola Spring and you can sit there at Riola Spring and just shoot it every morning. But here with Naydra, it requires a little bit more than that. But I thought that I would get some Silent Princesses first. I believe that it's up here. Oops, must be raining. Okay. I can always go back for the Silent Princesses. I'm not going to wait out the rain. I'm going to try to find my location. And hopefully the rain will stop in time for me to light a fire and wake up in the morning and do all that neat stuff. Uh-oh. I don't want those guys. Let's see if there's an easy way to get across. Good. I wasn't sure that was going to work. This looks like it might not be a very difficult climb up here. This might be where I'm supposed to be, but climbing it in the rain might not work. It didn't. Okay, let's see if we can do a little bit better. It's probably going to demand that I just wait. Yeah, nope. I think I'm just going to have to wait. Is there a shorter way up? Or is there a zigzag way up? Doesn't look like it. But it feels like the rain is getting lesser. Huh. Maybe there is. Yep, I think this is where I need to be. So we're going to look for some firewood. Sit here till morning. I can't remember if I'm supposed to get... That was kind of a funny surprise. If I'm supposed to get all the way to the top, or if I'm supposed to do it from that little ledge there, but we'll just go to the top. Look out for Naydra, because now that she is free of malice, she will be able to start flying through here. She'll be able to do her regular circuit. Sometimes the game involves waiting. Especially when it comes to dragons. Before I found out that she passed through here, I used to do this way out at this lagoon in Naydra, and that was a lot of fun. I had a bunch of enemies out there, water octoroks and stuff shooting at me, and all sorts of stuff. And this is a much nicer way to get Naydra's horn. But there's a lot of places between here and Mount Naydra where she passes. In Tears of the Kingdom, she not only goes through here, but she also goes down into the depths. But we don't have the depths in Breath of the Wild. Or we probably do have the depths, we just don't know about them. We don't have chasms, access points, and so on. But I would bet when Farosh comes out of Riola Spring, he's coming out from the depths. Okay, so is she not going to come today? It's already almost 9 o'clock. And I don't see anything. It's 9:40. So maybe she is resting after her experience with Malice. Okay, I don't need cheap viewers, thank you. Okay, it's definitely way too late for Naydra to come, so we're going to wait until tomorrow morning. This time I'm going to stay here rather than go all the way to the top. Hopefully she will come this time. If she doesn't, I will have to go do some other things and then return to make sure that we can do a little bit more flying with Naydra. Here she comes. You can see her right there. So I guess she was taking the morning off yesterday's morning in the game. Well, that was very convenient. If we're lucky, our firewood will still be here. Yep. We're lucky. Hopefully she will arrive on schedule. There she is. Right there. So as you can see, she comes from that mountain where we just were in order to free her, and comes down through here. And I'm not sure what her entire circuit is, to be honest. In Tears of the Kingdom, she goes past the Hateno Research Lab, which is where I usually grab her in that game. Great. And she dropped it in exactly the same place this time. I usually end up somewhere on the other side. Like over here. Or over here. We can actually go to the Great Ferry and turn in our materials, which include Naydra's horn. I'm not sure if this is the right one to... Doesn't seem like it. I think it's over here. That's actually where I want to go. Okay, great. So we got the Lanayru Road West Gate marking on our map now. I'm going to go see about some more Silent Princesses. Now that it's not raining. I think it might be that pillar right there. It looks like it has a bunch of vegetation at the top. Yep. I don't know if they respawn up here, though. Well, there's one. I'm collecting these because they are materials for the Champion's Tunic, not to mention that they help with stealth on those occasions when you need stealth, like when you're trying to tame a horse. There it is. Oh well. I kind of miscalculated that one. Okay. I think I've already got this shrine marked, but it doesn't hurt to check. Yep. Okay. Now that's the village. And here's the fairy fountain. Okay, let's go talk to the fairy about upgrading our armor. We've got all of the silent princesses in the vicinity. Okay, we are going to do it. Champion's Tunic is going to be raised from 14 to 22. Sure, let's do the trousers too. Yeah, there is one fairy that I have not opened yet. She costs 10,000 rupees to open, and I have 116 rupees at the moment. So we're going to have to make some money before we can open that fairy. But I think I'm going to try again to get... Now our defense is 35. That's very good. I think I'm going to try again to get, not Feroce, to get Dinraal's horn. I've already tried a couple of times, did not have success. One time I'm not even sure what happened, but we're going to try again. And let's try during the day this time so we don't have to deal with stall monsters popping up. And we're going over into this direction. Actually, yeah, I could grab a sledgehammer. There's a sledgehammer right over here. And it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so hopefully we'll be okay. Although it may be a little chilly up here. I may need to... Well, maybe my flame blade will protect me from the chill. Yeah, it looks like I'm okay. I bet the silent princess is down there with the fairy fountain. But that's not where we're going. We're going towards the red marker. That was an accident. I was actually trying to hit something else in mid-flight. I was trying for a different button. I was going to try to put on Majora's Mask so that I could get past all these enemies without triggering a battle. It's not that I'm afraid of battles. Oh my goodness! That's a full-on stone talus. Well, I don't feel like doing a stone talus right now. But I can guarantee you we will soon be hunting stone taluses. They're a very good source of money. And I really like using ore to get money. But right now, I want Dinraal's horn. Now, the common enemies, like bokoblins and Zalfos and moblins, they have a hard time recognizing that I'm an enemy when I'm wearing Majora's Mask. But other enemies, like Choo-Choo's stall monsters, that's kind of interesting because the skeletons, they do recognize that I'm an enemy, even though they're like formerly bokoblins and lysels and stuff. So it's kind of interesting that they recognize me, but the living monsters don't. Now, stone taluses, they recognize me as an enemy, which is why that stone talus activated. I'll go get the ore later. Oh wait, I'll get that one, because that's rare ore. That's right, it's a little close. It's now about 6 o'clock in the game. PM. Dinraal should be coming through here somewhere between 8 and 9 p.m. Looks like these are luminous stones. Here's another rare ore. This is a nice big ledge, so I could actually use bombs on those. Okay. We're definitely too low for Dinraal, so we're going to go back up to the tower, do this again. What time was it in the game? And Dinraal came through there. It's probably about 8. So if we miss Dinraal's morning run, we can catch the nighttime run. Now it is night, which means that now I am susceptible to the skeleton monsters and to keys. So we can probably expect some skeleton monsters, some stall monsters popping up out of the ground. I know there's a place where some lysels pop up, I think it is, or is it moblins? Stall moblins. Here they go. Here's the lysels. I don't think they can spit at me, though. And there might be some moblins up here. Definitely wolves. Foxes are not a threat. They usually just kind of whimper. Okay, here's the other pack. Well, I've actually got some time to do ore gathering now because I've already gotten everything I can out of Dinraal until morning. So why don't we do this? Because what I need right now is a lot of money. And this is a good area to get ore. It is not, however, the best area in the game for ore. And we will visit the best area tonight, I'm pretty sure. The nice thing about having fully upgraded bombs is that you don't actually have to aim them precisely. You can just detonate them in the air near... Oh! So now we've got 2 shards of Dinraal's horn. Let's take a look, make sure, verify. Yep, 2 shards of Dinraal's horn. I don't know if we've done one of these puzzles yet. It's a Korok puzzle. Okay, I see where it belongs. No? Yes. You have to make the 2 structures identical, but you have to figure out which structure is the model. And at first I thought that this structure was the model, and then I saw, no, it looks like it's going to be this structure. So, we now have 2 shards of Dinraal's horn. And we can remove that pin now. Okay. So what I'm going to want to do now is, what time is it in the game? 2:35. Let's take a quick nap. And let's get out of our mask. We're going to be around here with humans, Hylians. And let's go to the stable. Right over here. I was going in the wrong direction. Okay, I showed you what it's like to paraglide off of this tower, well, not that tower, sorry, this tower, going into the lava area without an elixir. I'm going to show you what it's like to go into that area with an elixir. And I think I'm also going to change to a frost weapon since I've got some. Okay. Where we want to go is over here. That's actually, I think, where I showed you the paragliding without the elixir when I started burning up. This time I've got 3 fireproof elixirs. Hopefully it will not take 3 to get to where I'm going. This gives me 6 minutes. And I'm going to use Majora's Mask as well, So I think there are some enemies on my way. And it's not that I'm afraid of enemies. It's just that when you've only got 6 minutes of fireproof, you don't really want to encounter enemies. Basically, I've got an agenda at the moment. And that agenda does not involve fighting monsters. But I can guarantee you we will be fighting monsters in the game. There's a Lizel right there. It wants to come check me out. I'm actually paragliding right over a fire talus. And I am going to start lifting up rocks. I'm looking for fireproof lizards at the moment. And the reason will become apparent in a moment. Need to walk calmly through here. How many do I have? 4. Okay. It's another place where you can come if you ever need to get a sledgehammer. That should be 6. There's usually some over here. Just hanging out. I think that's 7. Oh man, I didn't get that one in time. That's 10. Okay. I'm looking for a Hylian. There he is. Nope. Well, as you can see, I'm burning up now. And I need another fireproof elixir. Last time I did this on only one. There he is. So he wanted to get some Death Mountain. He wanted to get some fireproof lizards. He'll give me heat-resistant armor if I bring him 10 fireproof lizards. This is one of those instances in which knowing the game benefits you up front. Yeah, he doesn't want to give me his helmet, but he'll give me the armor at least. Okay. So I'm going to put on that armor. And now I can do this area without having to worry. About burning up. Now, if I want to become completely fireproof, except in lava, which counts as drowning, same as when you drown in water, or in a bottomless bog. But aside from that, aside from going into lava, this will get me through the region. But completely fireproof requires the entire set plus 2 upgrades. And I'm heading to Goron City. I'm not going to buy the rest of the armor. I'm just going to... Ooh. What's going on? Remember when we went to Kara Kara Bazaar? We had a visitation from the desert divine beast. There is the Death Mountain divine beast. So the one in the desert is a camel. The one on Death Mountain is a salamander. I'm actually going to change my shrine sensor. There are no silent princesses here. I want to find the shrine. Looks like I'm going in the right direction. And there's plenty of fireproof lizards around here. I'll talk to him at a later time. I'm not going to talk to him right now. Huh. Let's see. Where do I want to be? The Gorons are miners. Okay, here we go. Over there, there's a rock octorok. In Tears of the Kingdom, you can use these guys to repair your weapons. I don't know if you can do that in this game. I do know that you can use them to spit out unrusted weapons if you have rusted weapons and shields. But I don't know if they can take a depleted weapon and actually do anything with it. Should I do this one? Let's wait. It's not really on my agenda tonight. My agenda in being here is really just to open this shrine and then go roaming the area for ore. So I'm really on a search for ore right now. I mean, the Gorons are miners, and there's a reason for that. There's plenty of stuff to mine. I think I will change my Sheikah sensor though. I'll just go for just regular ore for now. That should be really easy to find. Wow, look at that. Salamander. It's just stomping around over there on Death Mountain. On Mount Doom. The reason that I'm targeting just regular ore is that I will probably pick up better ore as well around here. Because there's just so much ore. So now my fireproof elixir has worn off, but I've got this armor. And it makes it tolerable to be in this area. The actual temperature here is off the scale. It won't even tell you what the temperature is. You can see that it's just red dialed all the way over to the right. Okay. And I'll just go collect my red choo-choo jelly instead of having to fight for it. And by the way, I am just kind of following the sensor right now and just keeping my eyes open for ore. Although I'm pretty sure that there's some good stuff over in this direction. Ooh, and there's the rock octoroks. Wonder what would happen. See, you can actually break those in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't even know if they're killable in Breath of the Wild. All right. I'm actually going to change my targeting. To rare, because I know there's some rare around here. But before I go for the rare ore, I'm going to go for the luminous. Because I can really see that. I am going to take a picture. That'll work for daytime. I really don't need any help at night. This one's a little trickier because that right there is a fire talus. So I am going to stay on the outer edges and not try the one that's nearest it. At least not at the beginning. If I do trigger it, then I will warp out of here. That shrine and start again. Why not? And that's the beauty of Breath of the Wild. You can warp out of danger. Let's see how we're doing in terms of ore. Doing okay. That reminds me I know where there's a diamond and I should probably go get it. These guys have terrible aim. So where we were, when I got the flame breaker armor, was the southern mine. Up here we're getting into the northern mine. And that's actually where there's a quest. While it's night, I may as well take advantage of the ability to see luminous ore. And it's telling me there's rare ore in this area as well. Looks like the rare ore is somewhere up here. Huh. Oh, there we go. There's a rare ore deposit in the area around the Goron Hot Springs, if I can find out where those are. Here they are. It's a good thing to have 2 rings of stamina. But once again, I'm going to take advantage of the ability to see luminous ore, which will only last for about another 30 minutes in the game. I mean, game minutes. It's about a half a minute in the real world. These are probably going to stop being luminous. Yep, already. Back to the shrine. One of the nice things about this game also is that the merchants do not have limited resources. So if you sell them stuff, they're not limited to a certain amount of cash, unlike Skyrim, where the economics are much more like the real world. Legend of Zelda doesn't really pretend to that level of realism. Not that Skyrim is incredibly realistic, with, you know, Dragonborn and dragon attacks and all of that, but it still tries to be more real world than Breath of the Wild, where, you know, vendors have unlimited cash resources. In Skyrim, they have limited cash resources, but they replenish very quickly. Okay. Well, there's the Goron Hot Springs. I'm actually going to go up here first before I start chasing that rare ore, because I know that there's a cave here that has, I think it's several veins of rare ore. When I find it, I'm going to mark it. Now, this is not the cave I'm looking for, but this cave has something else in it that I want. And this also tells me that I'm in the right direction. Let's see, what can I drop for this? Okay. No, the drill shaft is not a better weapon than than the Lysol, the Lysol weapon, but, and I believe this is it. But it's very good for this area. It's lighter than the sledgehammer. Not that encumbrance matters at all in this game, but it's lighter than the sledgehammer and it breaks stuff. I just feel more comfortable traveling with a drill shaft on my back than with a sledgehammer on my back, because it's like, realistically speaking, there is absolutely no way that you could paraglide with a sledgehammer on your back. Well, I didn't get what I wanted out of that cave, but I think I should mark it. Because this will respawn. Oh, that's the wrong stamp. I don't want the food stamp. I want the treasure stamp. There we go. Pretty soon I'm going to head back to a stable fine beetle and see how much money I can get for all of this. Just regular ore, but this looks remarkably like a core oak. They tell you to look for things that are unusual. Some of the things you can do with choo-choo jelly, you can upgrade materials, but let's say you don't have any fire arrows, and let's say you don't have a flame blade, and let's say you don't have any flint. You can actually put some red choo-choo jelly down and shoot a regular arrow at it. You know, put it on top of some firewood, shoot an arrow at it, and you've got yourself a fire. Wonder if those are little fire rock monsters. Oh, but it's... I wonder if those are fire moblins. Let's see what would happen if we used a frost arrow. Nope. I guess moblins don't come in the fire denomination, and I think that that is actually a shrine quest right down there. I think it's only Lysels that have frost and fire types. Okay, so it was this direction. I was having a really hard time finding the right direction for that beep. think that after this, though, we're going to go turn in our earnings, get another Gerudo bow, a golden bow, there it is. And I'm going to put this back on. Speak of Liza's. I didn't actually mean to do that. Let's go use a better weapon. And that's what happens to a fire Lysel when you hit it with a frost weapon. Okay, I'm gonna go get a diamond. And then if I still don't have enough money, which I probably don't, I will go farm for Roche. Let's see. There we are. Oh, there was rare ore right around here. Maybe? Well. I know there's a diamond right here. That's the great respawning diamond. There's also some luminous stones up here. I guess we won't be able to see them until about 9 p.m. in the game. So let's change the sensor. Although I doubt we'll need it because these will be glowing pretty soon. Yeah, they're already glowing. actually are stall monsters on this mountain, but not in this grove. Okay. Let's go to a stable. I think I'd like to go to this stable. No, not that stable, excuse me, this stable. There's an NPC I'd like to talk to. I think I have what he needs. I'll check before I talk to him. Yep, I've got what he needs. But I'll change back into my champion's tunic. This is him. Yeah. He sounds very tired. He got a job here because he likes horses, but he's working a lot. So he needs meat. And the stable meals are vegetarian, so it's not exactly optimal for him. I would love vegetarian meals personally, but he wants some fresh caught gourmet meat. Well, fortunately, my inventory keeps it fresh. Yes, I do. I have gourmet meat. Sure. I'll take 100 rupees. Okay, so that's more than enough for today. You can only give him 3 at a time. But tomorrow I can sell him more. So let's just kind of sit in front of the fire for a while. Now, I wonder if he's on a 24-hour schedule or if he will let me sell him meat the next morning. Okay.
Oh.
I was able to get 400 rupees from him just selling stuff that I bombed off of wolves. Let's see if the painter has anything to tell me. Sure. Check out my album. Oh, nice. I can get a memory not very far from Satori Mountain. But where is Beetle?
Hey.
There he is.
Yeah. Sa. Oh.
I'll sell you all my flint.
Wow. Yay.
I'll sell you all my amber.
Yeah. Wow.
All of my opal.
Wow. Yay.
I've got 39 luminous stones.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
You know, I'm actually not doing too bad. I only need 2,000 rupees. Okay. So, we're going to do this Feroce farming thing again. I'm going to put on my flame blade. And go up to the top of the Dueling Peaks. We're going to go back into that cave area. I think I may have marked it this time. We're doing this because there's a guardian over there. Don't feel like fighting it yet. I can, technically. I've got my stasis upgrade. But I want to get a little bit more buffed before I do that. Yeah, I'm heading towards that star, this right here. Okay. Okay, Faroche was just going the opposite direction. Remember when I said that see how he's coming out of the pool? I mentioned when we were trying to get Naydra's horn that the depths, and I think that that's what Faroche is doing here. He's coming out of the depths through this pool. And we don't actually have the depths in this game. We can't visit the depths, but if they exist in the topography of that game, which is a direct sequel to this game, then I would say they exist. I believe we need about 7 horn shards to get the result that I want. This is interesting. Is Feroce not appearing? This usually happens right after the fire. Huh. That's so wild. I must have done something that glitched Feroce. Okay. I'll briefly leave the area. Oh, there he is. That was at 5:55. So I guess I just need to be patient. Now we're back in our pattern. Or at least for a minute. After we finish here, we will definitely have enough money. I'm really glad for motion control. It makes it so much easier to deal with the bow. See how many arrows we have left. 7. Okay. I have 3 arrows left. Ooh, Link is burning. I didn't actually get his horn that time. So Ferocious gone. That means it's safe. I won't get struck by lightning flying off of his body. As I've mentioned before, the dragons are not hostile, but they are dangerous. Now that's like Aslan is not a tame lion, right? Same principle. I have 21 dragon horns. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Kara Kara Bazaar. See if I can find Beetle there. He's not the only vendor I can use, but actually, that's not really where I want to be. I want to go back up to the tower. Oh wait, why did I do that? I could have just gone to the stable right down there. Whew. Okay. Once again, we can see the desert beast, Vanabora, stomping around. This flame weapon is not going to be a good idea. Let's change to a frost weapon. Okay, that's where we want to go. And there's Beetle, who has an infinite number of rupees.
Yeah. Sa. Oh.
I am going to give you 10. And you're going to give me 3,000 rupees, I believe. Yep. Okay. I am about to finish my personal quest, which is fully upgrading the champion's tunic. So I'm going to go down to the giant skeleton in the desert. And since it's covered in shade, I shouldn't have any trouble with heat in here. I'm going to get the resources first. Should be a couple more. Or is it only 2? There's 2 more. I think I have more than enough silent princesses, but okay, Link is still okay. Although he probably wants to stay in the shade. Okay, let's get this final fairy. And the reason we need to do this, hey, Sleeve Gaming, I'm doing well. How are you doing? And the reason that we have to open up the 4th fairy is because we can't do the 4th upgrade unless we have 4 fairies open. I've got 10,000 rupees now. Okay. I'm not really worried about how it's going. I just enjoy playing the game. How about you? So, fairy. This is the oldest of the fairies. This game looks pretty. Yeah, this is a very pretty game. It's Breath of the Wild. It was Game of the Year in 2017. So she's going to predict what I'm thinking right now. You're probably thinking, can't we skip to the part where she enhances my clothing, right? Sure. I play Skyrim as well, so you're asking which other games do I play. I also play Skyrim. I've been doing that on Monday nights. And I play Elden Ring, which I'm going to be streaming if it ever comes out on Switch 2. I've played it on PS5, but this is actually kind of a Switch 2 stream. And I'm doing a Baldur's Gate multiplayer right now with a friend. I just finished a Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer with a group of friends. So I play a lot of games, actually. How about yourself? So we're going to... What an impatient person, the fairy says. So the clothing I want enhanced. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will be streaming Elden Ring, as I think I said that. I will be streaming Elden Ring if it ever releases. It's currently being optimized for Switch 2. So depending upon what materials you have on hand, I should be able to enhance it to the max. So this is what we've been working towards. The Champion's Tunic final optimization. So we need 10 Silent Princesses, we have 20, and 2 Shards of Dinraal's Horn, and we've got those. So let's do it. I also play God of War. I've played God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. Those are both great games. Oh, nice. So you watch a lot of different streams. So the comment here is that the Champion's Tunic is now up to 32. It started at 5. So we've now got very high defense, at least in our main piece of armor. Yeah, sure, you can enhance my trousers. Right now, you asked about, do I stream daily? I don't have time to stream daily. I'm just streaming on Monday evening and Friday evening. I don't really need to upgrade the Hylian Tunic. Okay, let's see how far our armor has improved. We are now at 49. If we can start upgrading the climber's bandana, we can increase it more. And if we can get a final upgrade on these, we'll increase it more. But this is pretty good. Eventually, I'd like to get the ancient armor, and that will give me even higher defense. Eventually, I'll have defense in the 70s. But right now, my defense is in the almost 50. So we are now able to do a bunch of cool stuff. Not that we couldn't before, but the main goal was just to get all of this upgraded. And now we can set new goals. And one of my goals is going to be to open some towers. What do you have for me? I'm not really trying to become a professional streamer. I'm just streaming because I enjoy it. So I'm not really looking to spend money for artwork, but I wouldn't mind taking a look at your artwork. My main goal in streaming is to provide help for people who are struggling with some elements of Breath of the Wild. We've had a lot of people come into the game in the last few years because of Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your username. I'm gonna see. We've got a stalking guardian now. And I'm gonna... Do I have a... This might not be enough horsepower, but we'll see. This could fail spectacularly, and I could die horribly. But... Oh, wait. I can't do this right now because I don't have any arrows. I need arrows. Okay, I'm not going to farm the arrows this time. I'm going to go to Hateno Village and see if I can buy some arrows. But a lot of people have come to Breath of the Wild from Tears of the Kingdom. And so, but then they're confused. A lot of them are confused. So, you know, my stream is basically providing some strategic elements to help people who are confused by the game. And I'm kind of showing how to get a lot of stuff done quickly. I think this is the 8th day of the Breath of the Wild stream. We've already got a fully upgraded Champion's Tunic. And how much money do we have? We have 961 rupees at the moment, which is respectable since we've had some big expenditures. Hello.
Oh. Oh. Ah.
Right. Okay. I always forget how to do stores. Because I don't do them very much.
Oh.
Okay. So I think I now have 15 arrows, yeah. That should definitely be enough for what I'm planning to do. I don't usually like to buy arrows because it's so easy to farm them, but I want to try that guardian. I don't know if this sword is going to be enough, but I think it will. It would probably be it would be a lot better if I had the Master Sword, but I don't have the Master Sword yet. Okay. So there's the shrine. There's the guardian. There's the guardian. Yeah. And where's my trajectory? It's kind of hard to see where I'm going in this. Okay. Where's the eye? There we go. Okay, first Guardian fight of the game. All right. Had to do something fun after all of that work. As you can see, I do not use the traditional method. Which is to the traditional method is to shield parry. I used to do that in normal mode, but master mode randomizes the timing for the parry, and so I just don't do it anymore. I need to change my bow because this bow is a little too close up. I want to see if the Guardian will come any closer to me. Okay, that one was not a pretty battle. First one was pretty much textbook. That one was a lot more difficult because I was using two-handed weapons. I'm just basically using what I've got. This will be trivial once I have the Master Sword. And I don't really want to go after that bokoblin because I don't want to hurt the horse. So let's see where the others are. See what I've got in the way of weapons. Not much. Okay, hopefully I will not get a blood moon, because I don't want to have to do these over again. I'm going to grab a weapon. And by the way, the reason we're doing these Guardian fights is so we can open Central Tower. Let's go to Gerudo Tower. And by the way, the reason that I survived that second fight, it's partly because of the temporary hearts, but it's also partly because I had upgraded this armor. I never would have survived that fight without the armor upgrade. Oh. Why don't we just wait until morning? It's only like 1 minute in real time. At any rate, the purpose of upgrading the champion's tunic all the way was partly so I could survive battles like that. And like I said, that would have gone a lot more smoothly if I'd had one-handed weapons, and even more smoothly if I'd had the Master Sword. So, because Master Sword gets 60 hit points when it's in the proximity to guardians or any other creatures of Ganon. I should say versions of Ganon. The Blights and Ganon himself. Now let's go back and see if we can get those last guardians. They're really not the same kind. They're not stalkers. So this shouldn't be too bad. Let's do the longfold blade first. We've already taken out the difficult guardians. Now we've got to take out some decayed guardians that are still active. But they don't have as many hit points. I think it's more like 500 as compared to 1500. I could be wrong, but... And this should not pose the same difficulty as before because that guardian stalker is no longer here. It'll return after the next blood moon. But we managed to get our weapons before the blood moon. Okay, there's one right over here. We took out the legs of the others. This one already has no legs. Okay, so there's another one right over here. I wasn't paying attention to my arrow count, so I'm going to have to do this without arrows. And I will definitely use a more powerful sword. So we just used a spin attack on that guardian with the Edge of Duality. There's one more guardian back there, but we should actually be able to climb the tower now. I don't think that other guardian can shoot this far. But I'm going to go up the back way just in case. It definitely does not have an angle on me from here. Okay, we have now climbed to the top of Central Tower. This is a tower in Hebra, and there's another tower around here somewhere in the Ridgeland. But Central Tower is really an accomplishment because it is one of the hardest towers in the game. I'm debating whether to continue and do Ridgeland Tower. I think may as well. Or could just stop here with Central. Why don't I stop here with Central Tower? Central Tower is a major triumph. So we're going to go back to the old man's cabin on the Great Plateau. Pretty soon, I think, we will be able to sleep somewhere a little more permanent. But let's go back here. And put Link to bed. He's had a pretty exhausting stream tonight. He started out flying with a dragon, shooting off the malice, then getting 2 shards of her horn, and then he got another dragon's horn, and then he upgraded armor, got a bunch of money, and then he opened the Central Tower by killing a bunch of guardians. I would say that's enough for one night. So Link will be back next time, and he will open the last 2 towers. And I'm going to be showing how to open the Ridgeland Tower easily. A lot of people get very, very caught up in the fact that there's all sorts of electricity attacks. And people have this myth that they need the rubber armor in order to twice upgraded rubber armor just in order to climb that tower. I'm going to show you a way to do it without the rubber armor, without sustaining any electrical attacks, and all of that. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening in the next stream, and I hope to see you then. Bye. Okay, good night.